In the past, I have called Halo Wars 1 the unwanted Halo, due to Bungie and Ensemble, the studio that created the game, not really wanting to make a Halo game. They wanted to make something new. They didn't want whatever Microsoft put down on them, and Bungie sure as hell didn't want somebody else touching the Halo IP. So now Halo Wars 1, and for a most part I guess Halo Wars 2, sits in this very weird spot, as nobody really cares about these games. Everybody really cares about the original trilogy, the Forerunner saga, and I guess Halo Infinite. But in so many ways, Halo Wars 1 is fantastic and worthy of being called Halo. And in many ways, it's probably the most underrated Halo I've ever played. The campaign is all about spectacle. It's all about building up these massive armies to attack giant massive armies, just for all of those troops to die and for you to do the entire cycle over again. But the narrative of Halo Wars 1 is beautiful. It is this self-contained story of trying to go find a Forerunner arsenal of ships and destroying it, but at the cost of them basically just exiting the Halo story until Halo Wars 2 came out maybe even a decade later. Yeah, the characters are a little stereotypy, but it doesn't matter because they're likable, because we get to see new characters like Red Team, because we get to see a bunch of Spartans like Omega Team, we get to fight giant scarabs. We get to fight in Halo battles. Large-scale Halo battles. That's something Halo games don't really do anymore, especially looking at Halo Infinite and Halo 4. Creating this smaller scale does affect the narrative, and expanding that, like Halo Wars does, truly kind of makes it a better game. And that's why I always appreciate it. It's never truly about, I guess, creating your own, forging your own identity as the Master Chief. It's just about fighting. You know, it's technically in the name. It is Halo Wars for a reason. The multiplayer is truly where this game shines, although the online matchmaking today is filled with just tryhards. It's maybe the best kind of local chill down with two of your buddies and play against AI. It's maybe one of the funnest experiences I've ever done, especially on Legendary, where you might as well be playing against 3 tryhards. There's always this random phenomenon where my friend Nick, if he's ever in the game, we will always get a Brute Chieftain on the other side, and that Brute Chieftain will always go after him. It is his nemesis, and he probably has Vietnam flashbacks even until today. Playing Legendary is maybe the most challenging thing to ever do, especially on a map like Fort Dean, where it's just a constant barrage that comes at you. The one map we've actually been able to beat the AI is having the shield wall just block off everything so we can build up our forces and we can actually know when the enemy's attacking. Outside of that, it's just it's an endless slog, it's an endless war, because we can't get anything going because they just push out troops so quickly. It's not even fair at some points. This multiplayer is so fun. The sandbox allows so much creativity with the different heroes you can select, with the different vehicles, the different upgrades for those vehicles, the field upgrades. Just no one playstyle is completely the same from somebody else. Somebody may focus on completely doing ODSTs for Cutter, while somebody may do vehicles for Cutter and just want Cutter for the extra base slots. I play Anders specifically for the Hawk units, and I will not build anything except for Hawks and 3 Spartans to man those Hawks, so I am basically a dead weight for, I would say, 55% of the game. So, and thankfully I have Nick who does the ODSTs, and I've got Alan who does the tanks, and we just run through it once we're all set, but getting to that point is so fun. The different heroes you can really choose really do switch it up. I don't think I've ever played Covenant, but there are so many abilities, especially actually having the Arbiter on the Prophet on the battlefield. It changes how you approach the encounter. Instead of focusing on the heavy vehicles, you may have all of your guys bum rush the Prophet or bum rush the Chieftain before you can actually use their abilities and just completely destroy you. That's the cool thing about Halo Wars. It requires you to actually kind of think, to use your head at least once. It is an RTS after all, it is a true RTS. And for console, it's maybe one of the best I think I've played since actually having an Xbox. Ensemble really didn't want to make this game, and for the most part, after doing research for a retrospective many months ago, I kind of understand why. It wasn't the game they wanted to make. Even while making Halo Wars, they were pooling their resources into something else. Nobody wanted this. Yet, here it is. It's not really recognized by the Halo universe or the fanbase. To be completely transparent, not many people talk about Halo Wars 1 anymore. But that doesn't mean it doesn't hold value today. It is still one of the best Halo games on the market right now, and you can probably get it for a really good price. Yeah, I wouldn't really play matchmaking, but that doesn't mean you can't find enjoyment in this game. There are so many things to do. The sandbox is surprisingly large for a pool so small. So why don't you go try Halo Wars again? Because it is one of my favorite games, and I would love to share that with somebody else. So please let me know what your favorite Halo Wars memory is, and thank you for watching. If you enjoy what I do, maybe consider checking out some of my other stuff. Thank you so much.